Well, I brought the Oldsmobile in here last night and just gave it a quick once over, looked at a few things, checked the fluids and whatnot, and yeah, everything seemed to be alright. All the fluids were up and ran okay. Of course, it's still got that miss on cylinder number 5, low compression, and I think I may actually get around to looking at that and pulling it apart fairly soon. You know, I've been putting it off for years because it still ran and I drove it, but I think it's time to do it. But before that, I do want to bring the LTD in here and fix that hood hinge and take a look at the starter in it, because they're pretty easy fixes. The LTD, you fire it up when it's cold and it runs fine, or it starts fine, and once it gets warm, it seems that the starter starts to drag and draw down a lot of power, and it just doesn't start, and it acts like the battery's dead. So I think I'm going to bring that in here, pull the starter out, pull it apart, just take a look at it and see if that's my issue, or maybe I have something else going on. But let's fire this thing up and get it out of here. Maybe take it down the driveway a few times. Fires up pretty good. Motor's pretty good. Steering's still got a little play in it, but not too big of a deal. I need to get those tires changed in the front. That bias ply is not too happy. Still pulls pretty good even for running only on 7 cylinders. I'm surprised. I can't wait to get it to run on all 8. See what she can do then. Yeah, not bad for being cold and half throttle. Well, let's park or pull the battery out and throw it in that LTD. Get that thing in the garage. Yeah, I kind of want to get this thing out of the way. Pull her over here. Yeah, kind of sad looking with that hood hinge all screwed up. I don't want to screw with it too much. Pull that thing off and see if I can find another one. But battery's in it. Let's see if it'll fire up. I probably shouldn't take her down the driveway. Seeing as my hood's kind of sticking up. I'll let her warm up for a minute, and then well, maybe I'll take a slow trip down the driveway. Well, it's been warming up for a couple of minutes. Let's see if I can kick the idle down and see if she'll still run. Well, not the happiest, but it is still running, technically. Come on now. There we go. Pretty sure all my tires are aired up. Oh boy, now. What popped up on me? I gotta figure that would happen if I got her going too quick. Yeah, well, we'll just turn her around quick. I don't know if you'll be able to see the car I'm going to be stealing the hood hinge from. That blue one right there. Way over. Hoping they're the same hinge. Guess we'll see. Oh yeah, that's a turning radius. Yeah, we'll take her a little slow. I don't want to lose my hood. I wouldn't want to put a blue hood on this car. Probably wouldn't fit anyway. The one down the pasture is a 78 Ford LTD 2 with a sport package. Pretty cool looking. I'll show you when I get down there to steal the hinge, but first we got to get it in the garage, and I think I'm going to take a look at that starter first thing. Come on, idle down, you dirty pig. There we go. It hasn't been running too long. Let's see if it'll fire right back up. Yeah, not too bad. When it's not working, it just won't do anything. So. Yeah, we'll pull that starter out and take a look at her. Well, alright, I got the starter out. It's pretty simple. There's just two bolts that hold it in. Top one comes in from the back of the bell housing towards the back of the car. And the other one comes in from the front. Just two bolts to take it out, and then the bolt here that holds the cable on. And now to take it apart, it's pretty simple. There's just this bolt takes the cover off, and then there's two bolts in the back that'll allow me to take everything apart. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it apart and see if I see anything. This may not be my issue. I may have something else wrong with it, but it's worth a shot. At the very least, I can clean it up and make sure everything's working good. Well, I've gone ahead and I've got the nose cone off, and you just see all the crap in there. Not good at all. And that green is copper that's actually corroded. And if you look in here, it looks pretty nasty. Lots more green crap in there. And you know, this appears to be the original starter. It's a Motorcraft one, and it looks old as heck. So I'm just going to pull the thing apart. We'll just take a better look at it. But from what I'm seeing right here, it's not too promising. May need a new starter. Well, I've gone ahead and taken the armature out, and that was actually kind of a pain. These are actually crunching around, and I had to bend this back to get her out. But if you look in here, you can actually see the copper sticking out from this insulation here. And if you look on the bottom one, I think you can see how just nasty the insulation is and how cruddy it is. And I can easily see how something like that would draw more amperage when it gets hot, and that insulation kind of breaks down. So this looks like it appears to be the original starter, and I'm thinking it's definitely time for a new one. This just all this crud in here and the insulation worn and falling apart, literally. It's just no good as far as I'm concerned, so I think I'm going to get a new starter. Brushes are alright though, they're not looking too bad. Still got some life left in them, so I may, depends on how much they charge for a core, I may just keep this particular starter for parts. I don't know. But that looks like where I'm at. Kind of an intermittent hot no start problem. I'll throw a starter at it and see if it helps. Alright, I got my new starter. Cost me 55 bucks. There's a $15 core, but I think I might just keep these parts here and just not return it. You know, it's 15 bucks, but it would probably cost me, oh, I don't know, probably half that at least just in gas to get back up there to return the parts. So for 7-8 bucks, I think I can keep the parts, and hopefully it'll come in handy someday. But I think I'm going to throw this in, and then we can start working on the hood hinge. See if I can't find another one. That may be another video, I don't know. And we'll throw the starter in and see if that helps. Alright, well, I got my new starter in. Let's see what she sounds like after this tractor goes by. Alright, now that's just not cool. I don't know what I did to her here, but she doesn't want to start, so I'm going to have to figure out why. Well, she don't seem to be getting fuel, because I can spray a little bit of starting fluid in there, and she'll run for a bit. But she won't stay going, as you'll see here. Then it just dies off. Won't stay running, and you can't hit the gas. To make it keep going. So for some reason she's not getting some fuel, so I'm probably gonna pull this sucker off and take a look at that fuel filter at least and see what's going on in there, see if it's pumping any fuel at all or if it's something in the carburetor itself. Well, I'm thinking I may have to tear into this carburetor. I was getting plenty of fuel up here to the filter, and the filter wasn't dirty, but still it's not running right. And I noticed the accelerator pump doesn't do anything. If I push on it, that whole thing is seized right there. So I think I'm gonna have to take it apart and check it over, because there really ain't too much can go wrong. And it was running fine when I fired it up, you know, so I didn't, nothing I messed with, you know. I think I just need to go through that carburetor. Something got sucked up in there in the fuel or something, and it's just screwed it up. I mean, it looks nasty anyway on the outside even, but if it ain't one thing, it's another. At least it cranks over good. I have no idea if it'll start when it's hot or not. Something I'll have to find out at a later date, I guess. But I think I'll probably do that in another video. I gotta do something with it because I can't even get it started to move it. Well, I finally got the carburetor off after what feels like taking apart the entire engine. About 8 million vacuum lines going to it. wires and junk that shouldn't be on a carburetor. But this whole thing's got me wondering if I should just buy a 4-barrel intake, another carburetor, and put a cam in the damn thing. Just be done with it. Because I mean, it doesn't need 90% of this emissions crap. It just doesn't need it. And you know, it's a 400 cubic inch engine, and I think stock they had less than 200 horsepower. I mean, that just ain't right. So I don't know, I'm gonna go inside and look at parts, but man, I'm seriously contemplating it, if it's even worth the trouble to rebuild this thing and clean it up and put it back on. And still have the gutless wonder in here, because these engines can make some power if you modify them. But they got the cam timing, I believe it's cam timing, is so retarded that that they just don't make any power. I don't know, it's just something to think about. That'll be it for this video, I think. I'm going to do some research and weigh my options and check my bank account.